Hey y'all, Thaddeus Rex here. All right, today is World Book Day. so I just wanted to take a minute to share a couple of my favorite books. Obviously, I love reading, have always loved reading. I used to make my living actually doing rock concerts, getting kids excited about reading. And years ago, I read a book, changed my life. And I wanted to share with you one of my favorite branding books. Seth Godin, you probably heard of the guy, a little book called All Marketers Tell Stories. And I read this book and it just completely blew me away. As a matter of fact, I got to meet Seth last year. He signed it for me, which was really cool. Because this book, I probably wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be doing the science of charisma or branding or any of this if it wasn't for this book. Because what I learned in here, and he just talked about how everything we buy, every time I buy something, you buy something, anybody buys anything, we are buying a story. Like before we buy a soda, before we buy a car, before we buy a house and choose to live in a community, we picture ourselves sitting inside that car. We imagine ourselves driving it. We imagine ourselves drinking that soda. We imagine ourselves living in this community, in this neighborhood, on this street. What would that be like? And that's why curb appeal in your house is so important, because it's that imagination. What do I picture? How do I see myself in this car? How do I see myself in this house? And it's that story that makes our decision. We decide if we're going to buy the Honda, the Lamborghini, right, or the Prius. Like, are you going to go for the BMW? Or are you going to go for fuel efficiency? Well, it's about the story that we want to tell ourselves, the story we want to show the world. Which community do we want to live in? Because every community, we picture ourselves living a different life. And it's that story that makes the decision. And when we're choosing to work with you or one of your competitors, what's the story we tell ourselves before we make the decision? It's critical. It's key. All right, so since this is World Book Day, I'm really curious, what are some of your favorite books? Seth Godin, All Marketers Tell Stories. Fantastic book. Highly recommend it. All right, one other I want to share with you, and this one I know you've heard of. This book's had a tremendous impact on my life, maybe more than any other. It's called The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. Seriously. All right, you can tell mine's well worn. Between my own youth and my kids, I'm sure we have read this book literally thousands of times. And Sally and I did not know what to do when our mother came home from work. I think I messed up the words exactly, but read it with your kids, with yourself, seriously. Just imagine for a minute, this cat with no story. Just a cat in a hat, no book. Like it would be nothing. But this book, the story, Dr. Seuss's clever use of words, created something iconic. So what is your story? How are we going to tell it better? All right. We have some workbooks coming out in just a couple weeks, working through the 5 factors of competitive edge. We're going to help get your story rock solid. Can't wait to see you and to see what you do with it. So much untapped potential. It's just my passion, helping people find that story. Because there's people out there who need you and what you have. And we just have to tell the right story so they can see it for themselves, so they can picture them riding inside that product. Whatever it is you have, it's worth it. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.